Grogu saves Christmas for Mando. Din Djarin and Grogu were returning from a dangerous bounty when an ambush shattered the snowy forest silence. In the chaos, Din slipped on ice and struck his head against Araki's Beskar helmet, taking the blow, protecting his life, but not his memory. When Din awoke hours later, blinking through frost, his first confused words shattered Grogu's heart. "Who are you?" Kara, Grief, and the crew gathered around Grogu, all remembering him perfectly, whispering his name with worry. But Din stared at the tiny green child like he was a stranger, unsure why everyone expected love where he felt only emptiness. Grogu hugged Din's leg, cooing his name, ears low and trembling. Din gently pushed him away, ashamed he couldn't offer more than confusion. Outside, winter lights shimmered across a nearby village, filled with decorations, music, and warm holiday lanterns. The crew decided to rest there, hoping joy might stir memory where logic had failed. As they walked in, children gasped at Grogu and waved candy canes, offering treats shaped like stars. Grogu took one eagerly, then held it up to Din with pleading eyes, as if the sweetness itself could fix everything. Din stared at the treat, baffled. Something about Grogu's hopeful grin tugged at his chest, a dull echo of forgotten warmth. The villagers decorated trees with glowing spheres, and Grogu levitated a broken ornament to help. Din watched in awe, half amazed, half terrified, wondering why the sight felt perfectly natural. That night, they slept in a wooden cabin, lit by a fireplace that crackled like distant memories. Din lay awake, helmet on the table, staring at the sleeping child curled against his armor. He felt an ache like love trapped behind a locked door. He whispered to the dark, "Why does it hurt not knowing you?" Grogu opened one sleepy eye and crawled onto Din's chest, curling up like he'd done 1,000 nights before. Din froze, breath caught, as an instinctive arm wrapped around Grogu without meaning to. Snowfall whispered outside as holiday bells rang faintly from distant celebrations. Din closed his eyes, pulse racing, his heart remembering what his mind could not. Morning came with music. Villagers sang ancient winter melodies in the square. Grogu tugged Din outside, pointing toward the crowd with bright excitement. Din followed, unsure why he trusted so deeply, but unable to deny the bond. Every step felt familiar, though memory still hid behind fog. The head healer approached Din, offering warm tea while examining the helmet dent. "Your memories aren't gone," she said softly, "just buried under fear." Din turned to Grogu, sitting beside a gigantic holiday tree covered in floating ornaments, decorating with the Force. Watching him work felt like remembering sunlight. Grogu levitated a star toward Din, waiting, smiling, hoping. Din's hand shook as he helped place it, their fingers brushing. A sudden flash hit him, Grogu giggling on the Razor Crest, eating soup messily while Din pretended to be annoyed. The memory struck so strongly Din gasped. Grogu's ears shot up. He knew something changed. The tree lights flickered in response to Grogu's excitement, glowing brighter than before as snow spiraled around them in Forceborn swirls. Din whispered, "I remember that laugh." More flashes came: Grogu floating eggs, Grogu hugging his boot, Grogu sitting in the co-pilot seat chewing wires. Each memory arrived sharper, warmer, undeniable. Din staggered back, helmet clutched to his chest, breathing hard. Grogu waddled closer, hopeful and afraid. Din knelt before him, voice trembling. "Kid." "Grogu, I think you're mine." Grogu launched into his arms, hugging his neck with a desperate squeal. Din buried his face against Grogu's shoulder, tears stinging behind the visor as more memories poured like a flood. The villagers cheered, bells ringing louder, proud witnesses to a homecoming. The snowy air tasted sweeter.
Ow.
The world itself seemed to breathe with relief. But one final piece was missing, the strongest memory of all. Din held Grogu up to eye level and asked, "What made us a family?" Grogu placed his tiny hands over Din's helmet. The Force hummed a soft snowflake glow and Din saw the memory, holding Grogu for the first time. This wasn't duty, or bounty, or accident. It was love. Din's voice broke. "I remember you. I remember everything." Grogu laughed aloud, pure laugh Din loved most, and fell backward into Din's waiting arms. Snowflakes danced around them like tiny stars in celebration. Later that night, the crew shared holiday food around a fire, Grogu stealing treats and laughing nonstop. Din sat beside him, ruffling his ears, unable to stop smiling. The healer leaned over and said, "Sometimes memory returns through pain. Sometimes through truth." She paused, smiling at the pair. "But the strongest way is love." Din nodded, wrapping his cloak around Grogu as they watched the stars. Grogu curled into his chest and whispered a tiny sleepy "Ku safe at last." Din hugged him close. "You found me, kid. Even when I lost myself." And as holiday lights glowed across the snow-covered world, Din realized something profound. Losing his memories had only proven how unbreakable their bond truly was. Family wasn't remembered. It was felt, and Grogu had never once forgotten.